What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Thank you for watching. So a couple weeks ago, I introduced you guys to my newest gun, the Barrett 50 BMG. We've shot it a few times since, and it's obviously just the most awesome gun that I've ever owned. But one thing I've noticed in every video, almost as impressive as the 50 cal bullet itself, is the muzzle blast coming out of this thing. I don't know if it's just the Barretts and the muzzle brake they put on theirs, but it's unlike anything I've ever seen. And I got to thinking, I bet the muzzle blast alone could do some damage out of this 50 BMG. So today we're gonna find out. So here it is. Most of you have probably seen this one on the channel already. This is the Barrett M99 50 BMG. It's a single shot bolt action 50 cal, and there is the muzzle brake that I'm referring to. I don't know if the camera is doing this thing justice, but it's just absolutely ridiculous. The size of this thing, and like I said, the pressure and, you know, the gas that you see come out of it every time you shoot it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna set different stuff on the table next to the muzzle brake here, fire a 50 cal round, and just see how much destruction and how much damage we can do with the muzzle brake alone. This ought to be good. All right, so first we're gonna fire a round into the hill with nothing beside it, just to show you guys what the blast actually looks like, and then we'll start setting stuff beside it and go on from there. It literally feels like you're getting punched in the face. If you shoot this thing enough, you go home concussed. All right, so the first thing we're gonna attempt to destroy is toilet paper. So I got one roll on each side of the muzzle brake here, and this stuff is cheap, like 1-ply toilet paper. Major safety hazard, by the way. Let me know in the comments if you've ever accidentally poked through, and be honest if you liked it. So I've obviously never done nothing like this. I would imagine it will at least blow it off the table, maybe destroy it a little bit. Let's find out. There's crab apples falling off the trees. I think we destroyed it. So when I do this stuff, I'm leaving a little tiny gap in between the brake and whatever I'm destroying because I don't want it to be a safety hazard, obviously. But I'm covered in toilet paper shrapnel, and I think we did some damage to these toilet paper rolls. So this one survived, you know, for the most part. There's definitely some holes in it. It launched about, I would say, 15 feet away from our table, and you can see all the debris on the ground. The one over here definitely got the worst of it. So here's this one with a big old tail behind it. I think the blast just launched them off the table. If they were like held in place, it would probably blow through it a little bit better, but that was still pretty cool. All right, next on the list is potato chips. So again, I got one bag on each side of the muzzle brake. I try not to eat stuff like this, and I had no idea that these were like $5 a bag. That's kind of ridiculous, but let's see if it'll destroy our potato chips. That hurt. So I brought a piece of cardboard to hold up in front of me for some of these. I probably should have used it for that one because I did not anticipate those chips just showering me like they did. It kind of stung. I even got a couple little cuts on my arms from chip shrapnel flying at me with, you know, such high speed. How many people can say that? I've been cut by a potato chip. But that was awesome. That was by far cooler than the toilet paper. And you can see we got just potato chip shrapnel all over the place. You know, bags and chips, and definitely the coolest one that we've done so far, but was a little painful. But that's why I'm doing this, so you guys don't have to try it at home. You're welcome. All right, so here's my protective shield. I'm gonna hold on to this side with my left hand, and you can see I cut a little hole in the cardboard there so I can still see through my optic. Obviously, we're shooting straight into a hill that's 10 yards away. Nothing's gonna pop up over there, but if it does, I can still see through my scope and see exactly where I'm shooting, and hopefully it will protect me from this. So this is flour. I dumped out one bag on each side of the muzzle brake. And I actually wanted to do this one in the bag and watch it kind of blow the bags open, but I think it'll be much cooler and more dramatic with it dumped out like this. So this will probably be the messiest one for sure. I'm gonna have to clean everything after this video. Well, I tell you what, that one was definitely not worth the mess. I think I was a little bit too high up with the muzzle brake and didn't blow all that flour off there like I wanted to. I still covered the entire shooting range like I expected I would, but not as good as I wanted it to be. By the way, in between each of these, I am checking the barrel and the muzzle brake for obstructions. I'm not just moving on to the next one with it covered in debris. I am checking the gun and cleaning it off in between each of these to make sure it's safe. So next up, this is probably the last one we're gonna do because I don't wanna cover my gun in too much stuff, but next up we have watermelons. So I have one on each side. Once again, you can see these are some pretty big watermelons, and I really don't know what to expect. I don't think it's gonna have enough to break through the, the skin on this watermelon and blow them up. I could be wrong, but these are really heavy and just, pretty tough to get through. So I would be shocked if it actually does any damage to these watermelons. Let's see. Nope. So as you can see, our watermelons are still standing, didn't even budge them. There are little burn marks on them. I don't know if you guys will be able to see that. Maybe gunpowder or something that came out of that muzzle brake and did hit the watermelons, but didn't even move them. Definitely didn't explode them. And I'm honestly kind of glad because I didn't want to, cover my Barrett in watermelon juice and have to pick all that up. But don't worry, I got something else that'll take care of these. 50 BMG versus 2 watermelons. And a sawhorse, I guess. So we got watermelon all the way back here on the table where I was shooting, and of course all over the ground, but that bullet definitely hit the watermelon. It did not hit the sawhorse, but I'm guessing the energy from that bullet hitting those watermelons decided to just break my cheap sawhorse. So this is what we got left of that. Obviously, like I said, it is super cheap and really flimsy. I kind of expected that to happen eventually, but not with that one. That's definitely interesting. This side's fine, and then this side where I had the watermelon sitting just crumbled under the pressure, I guess. So either way, we took care of the watermelons, and that's what matters. All right, everybody, that is gonna do it for me today. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video on the insane power of a 50 cal muzzle blast. Like I said, this is one I've always wanted to do. I'm sure it's been done before, like every other video idea, but the first time I shot this gun, it just felt like I got punched in the face. Like if you shoot this thing 5 or 10 times, you literally go home feeling like you just, got in a boxing match. You almost feel like your brain's a little rattled. It's that intense. And like I said, the Barrett specifically has these gnarly muzzle brakes, and they just put out tons of pressure. So I wanted to do this. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. Some of them were cooler, some of them not as cool as I expected, but either way, a ton of fun, and that's really all that matters. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please let me know down in the comments below. As always, hit that like button for me, guys. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.